This video is brought to you by Against the Flow of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is a book about Jake Fayard, a Marine veteran who is unhappy with the political machine running the state of Mississippi. He decides to fight the corruption from the inside. Jake will face more challenges than he ever has and will stand up for what he thinks is right. His notoriously hot temper will push him to the edge of murder, along with his friend and brother Kobe Barhanovich. Together, they will fight the system and give the power back to the citizens of Mississippi.
Against the Flow of Mississippi was written by Anthony Oksenholt and was published by Oksenholt Biloxi Publishing, LLC. A link to the book will be placed in the description below.
Selling Biloxi Belle and Biloxi Boy Cooking and Fishing is about how to have fun on the water. We're going to do a little bit of cooking. We're going to do a little bit of rebuilding a sailboat. Maybe doing some sailing. We're going to do a whole lot of boating, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun. Thank y'all, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Also, if you like the music, check out my brother Ben Thompson, Barefoot with a Stetson. Name of the song is Barefoot and Ready to Party.
Take a tall glass and fill it with ice. Pour some vodka to make it nice. Then add some rum and a little gin. A shot of tequila for the win. Next comes orange liquor and sweet and sour. Mix a splash of cola, get ready for the kick. You want a drink that'll set you free? Get yourself a Long Island iced tea. A pub on the wharf or a bar on the beach. All the dance moves your friends can teach. A frozen drink with a straw and umbrella, or a premium bottle from a nice wine cellar. A cup of ice and a little Sprite. You're getting ready for a fun night. Add some light rum and a little more. Then passion fruit juice is your next pour. A little lime juice and you're almost done. Now a big shot of 151. You're drinking something that is insane. Enjoy drinking a hurricane. A pub on the wharf or a bar on the beach. All the dance moves your friends can teach. A frozen drink made with Bacardi, bare feet and blue jeans. Get ready to party. Put some cherry brandy in a cup. Grab some ice and fill it up. Add dark rum and light rum too. Then pineapple and papaya juice. Add sugar and get ready for some fun. The last ingredient is 151. Your senses will flood like a tsunami. You're about to drink yourself a zombie. A pub on the wharf or a bar on the beach. All the dance moves your friends can teach. A frozen drink made with Bacardi, bare feet and blue jeans. Get ready to party. Sun, party on the pier. There's nothing wrong with ice cold beer. Get a frozen drink made with Bacardi. Barefoot with a Stetson and ready to party. Barefoot with a Stetson and ready to party. Frozen drinks, warm nights, feeling hearty. Raise a glass, feel the breeze, and you'll see every sip's a vibe when you're drinking carefree.
All right, y'all. Selling Ixalib, your host, Anthony Oksenholt. You know, I'm doing a lot of videos for somebody who is still about a month out from actually piloting his new boat, but it's the time of the year to where those of us who are into history and love maritime stories, we have something to reflect on. The wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald was almost 50 years ago. I think in about a week it'll be 50 years. And I just, been listening to a documentary. Can't really say I've been watching it because I've been watching the road. I'm driving as usual. Hey, sue me. Sailboat parts ain't cheap. But it got me to doing some thinking since I'm redoing my boat. What it got me thinking about was when I rebuild and refit mine, I'm thinking watertight bulkheads. And I've said this before. The more I think about it, the more I look at these big ships that have wrecked, the more I like the idea on my little fiberglass 35-foot sailboat. There's a lot of things out in the water. Things are unpredictable. And, I have a 50-year-old boat. I have no idea exactly how strong that fiberglass is. I hope it's strong enough. But no matter how strong it was when it was built in 1974, this is 51 years later. That means that boat is 10 years older than I am. And I've certainly had to have some repairs on me in my life. When you get old, the boat's old, I'm getting old. Things don't work as well as they used to. But at the same time, you got to be vigilant in your. You got to be vigilant when you're redoing something to make sure that you get to where you need to be safely and in one piece. I'm big on safety, especially on that water. I'm big on safety out here on this road. By the way, hands free. That being said, I'd like to know that if I take off out of, my home port's Biloxi, Mississippi. If I take off out of there and I want to go down to the islands, I want to go down to, I want to go down to the Caribbean. Well, I've never been to the Caribbean. The closest I've been there is probably Miami or Key West. And I drove to Miami and I drove to Key West. I didn't take a boat. So here's a bit of an unknown between Biloxi and down yonder. I'm a man that believes that paper charts. I believe in technology, but technology fails. Hell, I still got a road atlas out here in this truck when I'm out here on this road. I may not need it because I've been out here off and on for 20 years and I pretty well know how to get around anything I need to get around. But the outer guff outside of the protected waters of the Mississippi Sound is personally unknown to me. outside of what paper charts I've studied. The waters off the Florida Keys are definitely unknown to me. And being a man of the Gulf Coast, I know how the Gulf of Mexico is. The Gulf of Mexico is unforgiving and unpredictable. These things are not disputed. These things are 100%. Anybody who's been out there long enough will tell you. Anybody who's lived on the Gulf will tell you that. So back to the watertight bulkheads. If I hit a reef that I don't know about, or a piece of debris that's just below the waterline, I don't want to sink. Much respect to the two leatherneck MCs that just rode by. Thank you for your service and Semper Fi. But yeah, I'm of the opinion that I don't want to go down. So I'm going to draw out when I get a better layout, probably after I get my boat out of the water. I'm going to draw out exactly where I want these watertight bulkheads. Because if you look in history, the Edmund Fitzgerald didn't have but one long, true watertight bulkhead. The Titanic didn't have a true watertight bulkhead. They had bulkheads that stopped, and you had a gap between the deck above and the top of the bulkhead. That means that I'm probably going to wind up putting in multiple bilge bays as well. Yes, that's extra work. Yes, that may put extra weight on the boat. That may slow it down. When you're on a sailboat, you ain't in a hurry anyway. At least I'm not. I'm on a sailboat for my personal enjoyment. I'll sacrifice a half a knot an hour to make sure that I can sleep a little better. I plan on beefing this thing up like it's never been beefed up before. And all of it is under the guise of safety. Yeah, I'm going to make the boat heavier than it needs to be. I think it'll be just fine. But it's going to be a hell of a lot safer. Yeah, it might be over-engineering. And that's fine too. I'm cool with it. I don't mind a little over-engineering. I'd rather over-engineer than under-engineer. I would rather have it as sturdy as possible and not need it to be that sturdy than to wish I did. Contrary to my very shot out sense of humor, I kind of like it around here. I'd kind of like to stay. And I'd kind of like my boat to survive if there comes through an emergency. That's the reason why I'm putting all this extra emergency and structural stuff on. And if you go out and do what I did and buy a 50-year-old sailboat for $1,000, and you got the similar plans that I do of completely ripping it down and rebuilding it, I recommend it. It might save your life. Just my thoughts. Y'all have a good day. Fair winds and following seas.